Okay, we are now recording and live on YouTube. So, Chairman, whenever you are ready.
I'm ready. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Zoning Board of Appeals, a web-based meeting held via Zoom, March 27, 2025, 7 p.m. I want to take the roll call. Mr. Trata,
Present.
Mr. Botello,
Present.
Mr. Rivas,
Present.
Mr. Ribeiro,
Present.
and I'm Joe Hanna, Chairman of the Board. I want to explain how this process works. The applicant will present his application. There'll be questions from the board, and then will ask the public who's in support, who is in opposition. Everyone want to speak, they must raise their hand and let us know what side they are. Because once we close the hearing for the application, there's no more questions or no more discussion. We'll be open for voting. That's it. Now I'd like to have a motion for
For the
Accept.
chair, can we just make sure, can we see Bill Trotta for Peter DeLucia?
Can I see them permanently for somebody over there?
Did that last time.
Well, I don't know. Okay, we'll see Mr. Strata for Mr. DeLucia. And now we can have a motion to accept the minutes from March 13, 2025.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the meeting from March, whenever that was.
March
13?
13.
Yeah, March 13.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Trata, seconded by Tony.
Yep.
Rivera. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We need a motion. The next meeting is scheduled for April 10, 2025. Now we have a motion to open a public hearing to hear 25-03 and application 25-04.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to open applications 25-03 and 25-04 for public hearing.
Motion made by Mr. Rivas,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Trata. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, application 2503. Anyone represent the applicant? Or is the applicant available?
Yes, that's us. Sorry. We're the
Okay.
Deschamps.
Okay, tell us what's in your mind.
We were looking to get our setback adjusted so we could build a 3-season porch off of the front of the house.
So you just building a porch in a house for a house?
It will be attached to the house.
Yeah, but I mean just a porch, right? Is it covered or no?
Yes.
Can we see in the screen what the plan for that thing? Anyone can share a screen, Mr. Rivas?
Okay, let's see if I can pull the agenda up and then the maps. I don't know.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm not good at sharing screen.
So, real quick question while we're pulling it up. You're
Yes.
gonna have a porch with like an open air porch, so it's not really a 3-season room, correct? Is that what I was looking at in the plans?
Yeah, I don't know what else to call it.
It's gonna
But
be
it'd
open
be-
air, but with just screens to keep bugs out. But yes,
Okay.
it's gonna be open air.
Okay, yep, got it. Thank you.
So it's gonna have walls and windows or just
Nope, just
a porch and a roof?
roof, porch, and screening to prevent bugs, animals from elements from coming in. But it's gonna be open air, no actual enclosed structure.
You able to get it, Juan?
Yeah, I just need to get, I opened up the other application. Uh, Give me 1 second.
Thank you again.
This site plan, oh, okay, it does show it here. Da, 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 da. That's
If you
the
go,
map there.
The next drawing up shows the porch itself,
Okay, give me 1 second.
except for it's sideways, but
Yeah.
Yeah, so the pillars, yeah, it would be in the ground.
And then I'll scroll up a bit.
Can you tell us how big that porch is? I see the numbers, can't see
it's
them. but-
gonna be
Yeah,
16 feet by, should be in there somewhere. I know it's 16 feet by
50 feet by how much?
No, it's all right. I got them. I'm on for looking at the plan.
I'm just
On the-
going back to
on the-
our plan.
Joe, on the physical site plan itself, it's 22 feet wide by 16 feet long.
correct.
Okay, thank you. I'm pulling up the thing myself.
You see it right here. Hold on.
Yeah, now I can see it, yeah.
I can't highlight
Yeah.
it, but there it is.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay. Any question from the board?
No, not that I can think of. What would be, because we have to ask, what would be the hardship here?
That when our house was built, it was way before, it was almost like 20 years or something before zoning actually even took place in Danbury, from our understanding. So we are looking to have, more square footage added to our, growing family and our home.
Yeah, you just want to put a little porch on, something nice, I guess.
Yeah, maybe a couple chairs or a kitchen table,
You want to just have a nice covered area so we can go outside, have dinner,
Yeah,
and when we got family over, we can relax outside, not have to worry about insects or anything, or have to bring everything from the kitchen out to the little patio furniture we have outside. Now it's just having it there on the deck
Yeah.
and being able to just set up everything, have dinner, and bring everything in, and I have to disassemble everything and
yeah.
spend almost a half hour getting prepared and then bring everything away again.
What you have in back the house? You have a deck in back the house or no?
No deck, we cannot
No.
put a deck on the back because the well is,
Yeah, the well's in that area.
yeah, the
of
well is
back of the
within
house.
like 15 feet. The septic is in the
It's on the other side.
side. The waistline's right in the middle of where the door comes out, and then the tank's probably 17 feet off, and then the system's right there, so if we put it there, we'd have no way to access if anyone's in problems. The other side of the house, there's a generator, propane tank, and
Well,
what
that would be your hardship then.
Yeah, okay.
we can't
It's our first rodeo.
move any of that without having to have inspection and everything come
Uh,
out. Just
Okay. Any more question from the board?
You haven't built it yet, have you?
No, no.
So we're way ahead
Doing
of
it the right way.
we're way ahead of the game this week.
Yeah, you're doing it right.
That's right.
Any other question from the board? Are you all happy now? Okay. Anyone in favor of this application from the public? Anyone in favor? Anyone in opposition? Anyone in opposition? Okay, so if no more question, I'd like to have a motion to close 2503.
Mr.
Make a
Chairman, I'd
mo-
like to,
Go ahead, Juan.
go ahead, Tony. Go ahead.
Trying to get the application back up here. I make a motion to close 2503 2 Tuckaway Lane. For
Motion. Yeah, motion made by Mr. Rivero,
Second,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Rivas. All in favor?
aye.
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 Okay. Well, if you want to open it and vote, we can do that, or we go to the other one.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like
Looks like
to
the other
open,
one gonna be for a long time, so let's open this one and vote on it.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to open application 25-03 to Tuckaway Lane, Deshaun Kyle, R80 zone, section 483, reduced front yard setback from 50 feet to 35 feet for construction of a 3-season porch for voting session.
Motion made by Mr. Rivas,
second.
seconded by Mr. Trata. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. It's open for discussion or motion, whatever you guys like.
I make a motion to approve 2503 2 Tuckaway Lane, Deshaun Kyle, RA80 zone, section 4.A.3, reduce front yard setback from 50 feet to 35 feet for construction of a 3-season porch per plan submitted.
Motion made by Mr. Rivero,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Trata. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So approved. Okay, application 25-04. Anyone represent the applicant or the applicant himself? Must be Mr. Marks.
Well, for the record, good evening. Neil Marcus, Cohen Wolf PC, on behalf of the applicant, but I'm going to defer to Dinas Fabricus, who's got the plans and the application in front of him. I'm joining you as from Colorado this evening. I was not sure that I could make the meeting, and Dinas agreed that he would make the presentation. So I'll sit back. I'll sit in the second seat in the cockpit and let Dinas run with this.
Good evening, everybody. For the
evening.
record, Dinas Verbicus, professional engineer with Artel Engineering Group, here on behalf of the applicant. And as Mr. Marcus is sitting back, I encourage you all to sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
He's a backup
are-
tonight, huh?
Excuse me?
Mr. Marcus is back up tonight.
Yeah, yes. Yes, and boy, I'm lucky to have him. So this application is for property known as 52 Carroll Street. It's about 14,000 square foot parcel of land in the Lake Wabeeka community. It's currently developed with a bungalow style home. Constructed in about 1957, with perhaps a small addition added somewhere along the way. There is a bit of a basement to the bungalow, and the remainder of the lower level would be an existing crawl space. The home that exists on the property has been in the Nadler family since the 1970s. The Nadlers are the property owners, and they are looking for a place to retire. Love Danbury, love the community, but need to make some adjustments to the home to make it livable for year-round occupancy. And a place that would be comfortable to live on a single level, as opposed to negotiating the current configuration, which is a small single level with access to mechanicals and washroom and storage, or wash machines and storage in the basement, only accessible via an outdoor. You have to walk outside around to the back of the house and get in to live. So what they'd like to do is update the home from a bungalow to a small ranch configuration. And to do that, they wish to, and let me, if I may, can I share a screen,
Of
folks,
course.
or does somebody want to put up the survey map? However you like.
You can go ahead, share your screen.
Yeah, this is the part that I always dread because I'm never good at finding the
Me
share
too.
part. Let me see if I can zoom it up. Okay, there's the share button. So now I need to find the map. Ta-da! Is that sharing now, folks?
No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my connection here is not the best, unfortunately. I didn't hear. Is that sharing now on the screen? No.
You
I
just
see now.
sharing your picture, that's all. Maybe now gonna work.
I think it's there now. Yes.
Yeah.
It's on my
Now
screen.
it's good.
No.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay. Step by step. So, and the zoom button, I don't see where that is, but I'd like to maybe make it a little bigger for you folks. Okay, I see. Here we go. It's getting a little bigger. Okay.
That's okay.
Good. So again, the parcel is about 1,400 square feet in size, or excuse me, 14,000 square feet in size. Carroll Street is located on the right-hand side to the north and to the south of the property. We have neighbors with their homes, and this little dashed edge on the left side of the property, that would be the edge of Lake Wabeeka. Topography on the property is, I don't know if anyone had the opportunity to go out, but it's really steep from the edge of the road to get to the home itself. The driveway is about 23%, by far exceeding any driveway limits set by the city. This portion where the home is to about the rear setback line-ish area, generally level, dropping about only 6 feet in that 60-foot run or so. And then from the back of the yard down to the lake, exceedingly steep, pretty precipitous. So the proposed addition to the home would be in this highlighted area located to the left of the main house box. The addition itself includes infilling the area below the existing screened-in porch in this area of the home. So we would have an addition in the basement area, as well as a screened-in porch above. And then a new construction here to the south of that, which would encompass the existing deck, and then out to the edge of the existing home. And that would be a full 2-story addition, again, allowing full living, basically for a 1-bedroom home upstairs with an interior stair, allowing access to the lower level for family members and or storage and so on. The existing home right now, the front corner of the house here is already located within the setback. It's about 10.1 feet from the side property line, where 15 feet is required. But if you note how the existing building is positioned on the property, it's slowly diverging away from the property line. So as we get closer and closer to the rear yard, we get closer and closer to conformity. But this proposed addition, it will be no closer to the side yard line than what currently exists. And I believe that section 9.c.2 of the regulations contemplates such a scenario where whatever is built should not increase the nonconformity. And as the building is diverging away, our addition will be further from the side yard setback. And again, this would allow for retirees to have a ranch single-story living quarters on this property. The other variances that we're requesting are associated with the proposed garage that we are contemplating or would like to have in front of the home. Now there's a number of regulations that we need to seek variances from to allow construction of this garage. But the garage was contemplated as an addition to working with the existing driveway and making that existing driveway a little bit better. So as I noted before, the existing driveway is about 23% and runs itself pretty close to the front face of the home, but only the most skilled of drivers can contemplate driving that driveway. When I visited the site, I've always parked in the road. So maybe I'm admitting something about my driving. But in proposing this garage and shortening of the driveway, we're able to make better use of the less steep portions of the driveway. So now our driveway would be only about 16%, still in excess of what the city allows, but a much better scenario and much easier for access for anyone to drive up into the site. And again, by allowing us to build within that front yard setback, allows us to make and create a scenario that's safer and negotiable by all, as opposed to only the most skilled. So this modest sized garage, 15 feet by 20 feet, is what is being contemplated, is located within the front yard setback. The front yard setback in this particular zone is 30 feet, and we are proposing to be no closer than 16.9 feet. So seeking a variance of 13.1 feet to the front yard setback. And the scenarios like this seem to be fairly common in Lake Wabeeka, where the lots are generally small and topography challenging. So we're seeking that variance for the garage. Also seeking variance to allow us to park our vehicles within the front yard setback. As you may know, the city requires that all parking be located outside of the front yard setback. However, in this community, mercifully, it's tight knit, and people all tend to park either along the edge of the road or close to the road. So we'd be seeking relief from something that most everybody does within a community. Another variance associated with this scenario is having an accessory structure located in front of the primary structure. So that we would be seeking a variance to. Also, because we are contemplating to do some grading on the property, we need a variance to allow ourselves to grade within 5 feet of a property line. I believe I've touched on all the variances, but so basically we're looking to make this, for the most part, a summer home into a year-round home, similar to everyone else in the community. And the hardship here being is that the topography of the lot is steep, leaving us little room to do much of anything. The existing home itself, where it was constructed in 1957, pretty close to meeting the side yard setbacks, but a little bit off. And again, what we're proposing is no closer than what currently exists. And by allowing this variance, it allows the home to be constructed in a manner that would make it look consistent with existing homes in the neighborhood, and make for easy construction. But at one point, it was contemplated also to maybe make different modifications, but making use of this backyard for any additions or structures or refiguring things is challenging, if not impossible, because the existing septic system is located in this location, as is the existing septic tank is in this location, and we need to hold setbacks to those that existing infrastructure. Again, allowing us these variances that we're seeking will offer full-time, safe living, similar to what all others have in this community. We did also, in your packets, there are letters from a couple of the neighbors in favor of this application, and if you wish, I can read those letters into the record, or as they are submitted. We can leave it at that. Your choice.
Yeah. You can read that.
We've got a letter from the president of Lake Wabeeka Association. Okay, so it says, Dear Ms. Lira, this letter to inform you that the Lake Wabeeka has no objection to the construction at 52 Carroll Street after reviewing the site plan prepared by Sydney A. Rapp Land Surveying dated December 1st, 2023, third revision, December 19th, 2024, drawing name 23466-ILS.R3. It goes further to say, we see no problem with the variance requested on the part of the Lake Wabeeka Association. Please feel free to reach out with any questions that you may have. David Zwang. We also have a letter from Bernard and Diane Gissinger, who are the neighbors located to the south. So further down on the screen, next door there. Their letters states that, dear members, we are writing to you regarding the Nadler property located at 52 Carroll Street on Lake Wabeeka. We live adjacent to their property and arguably will be the most impacted by the addition being proposed. We have spoken with the Nadlers and have carefully reviewed the site plan prepared by Sydney Rapp Land Surveying, dated December 1, 2023, third revision, December 19, 2024, drawing name 23466-ILS.R3. To the point, we are fully in support of their variance application and wish them well throughout the process. We hope that you will approve. They are wonderful neighbors. Sincerely, Bernard and Diane Gissinger, 50 Carroll Street. And we also have another letter from Ms. Miriam Lesnick, who is at 42 Carroll Street. 42 Carroll Street is located in this portion abutting the property. And it states, to whom it may concern, I live around the corner from the Nadlers and my property is adjacent and on the side that will be affected by their proposal. I write to you in support of their application. I have seen the plan prepared by Sydney Rapp Land Surveying PC dated December 1, 2023, revised third revision, December 19, 2024, drawing name 23466-ILS.R3. and have no objections to the proposal. In fact, I hope that the Nadlers can move forward with their project. I've known them for a long time and welcome their regular presence in our community. Respectfully, Miriam Lesnick. And I feel that that granting of these variances would allow the Nadler family to continue to enjoy Danbury and the community and live out their retirement years in our presence. I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone might have.
I have a couple of questions. Is that on the map it show on the right-hand side of the driveway, that's a stone wall existing or you're gonna build that?
No, that's a proposed stone wall. In order to make the driveway a little less steep, we will need to cut into the slope. And in the portion of the driveway that's closer to Carroll Street or to the right, we feel that we can excavate about 2 feet maybe into the existing soil, allowing us to flatten out the driveway there. However, as we will be cutting for the driveway, the remaining existing soil needs to be held back. So on the north side or on the high side or on the top of the drawing as you're viewing it, that soil that exists will be retained. So the wall will allow us to cut into the slope on the north edge. And similarly, you may note also a retaining wall, kind of a curved retaining wall here on the east side of the driveway. That is also a proposed wall. So in order us to negotiate the slope as it drops down toward Carroll Street, we're proposing to build a wall to hold up the driveway, which will allow us again to flatten things out and allow people to negotiate this driveway without without fearing for their lives.
Through the chair, real quick, point of clarification, Dinas, Sean. When you were presenting earlier, did you mention that there's no driveway grade variance as part of this? I think you mentioned 16%. You're going to be maintaining the 12, correct?
Correct. Yeah. What we're looking to do is make it as good as we can make it, and the driveway, again, it's an existing condition and we're trying to make it better, and we will be making it considerably better than what currently exists. But to push it to 12% is not really feasible as we see it.
Okay, did we put that as part of the variance? Did we request a driveway grade of variance?
We don't have that, but I think the driveway requirements are part of the subdivision regulations. I'm not sure that they are part of the zoning regulations or would require a variance, as it's again an existing condition that we're looking to make better.
Yeah, the driveway grades are in the zoning regulations.
Yeah,
Oh. Okay, so yeah, we don't have that that listed as a variance, but again, as we're proposing to make it better, not certain that we need to seek a variance for that.
Yeah, but Dinus,
Neil, perhaps you might
yeah,
want
let me give Neil Marcus for the record. Generally speaking, where you have a pre-existing non-conforming driveway and you don't make it more non-conforming, you try to bring it into conformity, you don't really need a variance to do that, because the driveway, all you're doing is a driveway improvement to try to become less non-conforming. Sean, I'm not sure, we can toss that around. I mean, if push comes to shove, we will file an application if it's necessary for a variance for the driveway at a grade of less than 12, but better than currently existing. Or we'll figure out a way maybe to get this thing to 12. We'll talk that up. But this was not something that we would have normally considered as a need for a variance, but we can take a look at that. So for purposes of this evening's application, you're not granting a variance for the driveway.
Through the chair for clarification, and that's the clarification I was looking for. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
yeah.
We appreciate it. Well, I got a second here. If I could just say to echo a couple of things that Dinus said in his submission, and he covered all the bases. But you, as the commission knows, I've in front of you guys many times for Lake Wabeeka because it is a unique community. What's unique about it, of course, is that it's now half-acre zoning, and there are very few lots in the lake that conform to half-acre. I mean, here we're at 14,000 square feet, so we're only 2/3 of the minimum zone requirement. So as a result of that, all of these old houses are non-conforming. That in and of itself, when you upzone a neighborhood, which they did years ago when they made it half-acre, that is considered to be a hardship in and of itself. But as Dinus had said, the other factor here is you got this very steep lot, and you can't turn the house around and shove it down the hill further away from the street because it's not feasible. So I'd like you to consider the fact that at the end, if this project is approved, this property will appear to be more conforming to the general requirements for the neighborhood, which would be an upgraded house. The interesting thing is that when they did the streets and the driveways years ago, they didn't really give a lot of consideration to parking because the history of Lake Wabeeka is that it was founded by a fraternity of firemen, policemen, and if you know the history of Sid Klein and Barney Shankover who did this, they came up here and none of those people had cars. The guys who lived in the Bronx and Brooklyn in the 1950s didn't have cars, and they certainly didn't have two cars. So you found that parking was never a problem in Lake Wabeeka because there were so few cars. But bring this thing forward by 50, 60 years, and you'll see that, or 70 years in many cases, that people today drive two cars. And as Dinus said, the neighbors are tolerant because people park on the street. And in the wintertime, if you have to plow the streets, you have to work around the cars that park on the streets. The fact that the newer applications all try to get driveways and garages, carports, where the cars are off the streets is a huge improvement and a recognition of the fact that the layout of the community from day one, it doesn't come near to conforming to our current standards for this type of subdivision. So I think you want to keep that in mind, particularly with a garage that will be a huge improvement to getting cars off of the street. So I'll let you go for that. I think with respect to the other items, Dinus has covered them. And this has been designed to try to have as few variances as required, but the fact of the matter is, it's such a non-conforming situation to start with that there are a number of variances, but they're minor, particularly as it comes to the side yard setbacks and the front yard setbacks. We've tried to keep that to a minimum in this application. So I'll let you go from there and ask questions. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. The stone wall on the right-hand side, the one have a lot of jig-jog. Why toward the house you can't make it straight over there?
I'm sorry. This is Dinus for the record. I'm not.
You know
I don't.
where you have that jog,
follow-
yeah, where you have the
Are
one
you
over
speaking
there.
about this wall here?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so I have this little jog in here so that when somebody parks from the garage, they can back into this point, and then they've got enough room to swing their car and drive out. So this is just a convenience to be able to turn around without having to back out into the road.
Mm. And how high the stone wall by the house, how high gonna be?
I think right now I don't have the plan in front of me, but from my recollection it was about 4 to 6 feet tall,
4 to 6
depending
feet
on
tall.
where on the property.
So that's gonna be stone wall or concrete wall?
It will likely be concrete, but probably faced with a veneer to make it look. At this point, we didn't spend much time on the design of it, as we weren't certain as to the
because
outcome.
The stone wall have to be engineered wall over 10 feet, 3 feet. But anyway, my question was if you can move the garage a little toward the house, but it doesn't look like you have too much slope over there.
No, we sat with Mr. Nadler quite a few times, going this way and that way to see exactly how we can make it provide
Okay.
the function.
Well, clear one more time about the 16 feet pitch about the driveway. Is that the existing driveway or that's a new driveway gonna be?
So the existing driveway heads up, generally follows the line here as we have drawn, and then comes up to this point rather high up and close to the home. What we've proposed is to cut back the driveway a little bit away from the home so we can actually cut into the slope and away from this ledge outcrop, which is situated right underneath this portion of the home. So we tried to pull things away to allow us to make the driveway lower. And in this portion, we're proposing this edge of the driveway follows basically parallel up. And what we're trying to do is now create a driveway in a turnaround area here in the driveway so that, again, it can be utilized. Otherwise, the driveway is just a straight shot from Carroll Street up to the home. And again, very, 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 very steep. So we're trying to stay away from the ledge by keeping the driveway closer to Carroll Street.
The point is the 16 feet, 16 pitch. It's the existing driveway or the new driveway gonna be, or you don't know?
No. The existing driveway from this point to where the vehicle comes up, 23%.
So if you cut the driveway up, you're gonna improve the driveway, or it's gonna be, you don't have any idea?
Because we're not going to go as high as where it currently lands. No, we're not going to go up right up to the edge of the house. So in doing that alone, it allows us to make the driveway less steep, and we're proposing to cut into the existing driveway at this location to make it a little less steep, push it down a little bit So again, right now, just in the concept, we have it at about 16%. Perhaps we can push it to, to 12. We'll certainly attempt to do that. But again, we'll be making the driveway much better than what it currently is.
Okay, any questions from the board?
Sure do. This is Brandon Botello. First off, will there be any plumbing in the proposed garage?
No plumbing is proposed. No.
Electrical though, probably?
Probably if we're gonna have a garage door opener, some lights as well.
Okay.
So just
Secondly
conveniences.
is the addition. I couldn't really find a plan of what was gonna happen in the addition. Is there gonna be a bathroom, bedrooms? I don't know if you can pull that up on your screen and show us what's what.
Sure. Let me pretend that I know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And see if I can share that portion. Did
Hey, Giles, I thought they taught screen sharing in civil engineering. I know they didn't teach it in law school.
Yeah, no, they did do a little screen sharing, but since college, I've learned to share. My wife holds the remote, so I still have little control, even though I can pretend to.
There you go.
So
You're good. You're good.
So we have these the floor plans. Oops. So this is the existing floor plan. The entry to the home would be on the left side here, and as you enter in, it's pretty compact. Again, meant for summertime living. And again, there was an expansion made some years ago to make the living room a little bit bigger.
So I guess
True.
could I ask you how many bedrooms are in this house currently?
There are 3 bedrooms currently.
Okay. And how many baths?
And there's 1.5 baths.
Okay. And then after this, if this renovation is completed, where would we be then?
So it'd still be 3 bedrooms. Again, the
And the
intention
baths?
here and baths, again, we'll have one master bath up on the main level, a powder room for guests. And then in the lower level, I believe there's also a bathroom proposed.
So the bathroom,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, the bedrooms remain at 3 and the bathrooms will go from 1.5 to 2.5?
Yeah, and actually, I believe I'm mistaken. I think there are 2.5 bathrooms currently as well. I'm scrolling back. I'm sorry if I'm making you folks
No,
dizzy.
it's no
But-
problem. I had a
but
little trouble reading them too.
Yep, but we've got a full bath in the right rear corner of the home, a full bath in the left front corner. And okay, so there are 2 bathrooms. We're gonna go to 2.5.
Okay.
So again, and the primary intention here is to convert the bungalow into a ranch that would be easily negotiated by all. Get
So
rid
just
of the
to clarify,
steps.
you're going from a 3-bedroom, 2-bath to a 3-bedroom.
I'm sorry, Brendan, I don't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you hear me now?
Yes, yeah, no, it's my connection here. The screen keeps telling me it's weak connection, weak connection.
Oh, so we're going from a 3-bedroom, 2-bath to a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath.
That's correct.
Okay.
So this whole
And-
addition you have in the back just for half a bathroom?
I apologize, excuse me.
This whole addition you're doing in the back is just for a half a bathroom? How big that addition you have in
No,
the
so
back?
what the addition allows to be done here, it allows to incorporate an internal stairway to get to the lower level. It allows for the laundry room now to be upstairs, and allows for again a better coordinated living on on one level. There's only going to be one bedroom upstairs. So what the addition does is it eliminates two bedrooms upstairs and creates a
Okay.
modern living space in this home.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have a few questions.
Go ahead.
Just for a point of clarification, the current driveway is at a 23% slope. The proposal would be
That's correct.
to bring it down to a 16%. I know that Mr. Marcus stated that it necessarily doesn't have to be in a variance requested, and if they do, we can come back to it. I found the zoning code in section 8, section 8B 3 under grades. It would still exceed the 12% that is required by the zoning regulations. How can we have a guarantee that if construction starts and you guys get underway, that changes within the construction or the build of either the driveway or the garage, that might change either where you may not be able to decrease the 16%, or it might have to stay at a higher percentage wise in grade?
Juan, can I try to answer that, it's Neil? If you approve the variance on the drawing that Dynas has presented, as submitted, then the proposed garage has to go where it is located. And obviously, they have to be able to get into it, presumably with vehicles. So they're sort of constrained to do this if that's what you approve. And your question is, how do you know that things aren't going to change during construction? If they do, they'd have to come back for a different variance. And I've had that happen, because really there's no process by which you can amend a variance. You can't come in and say, I asked for a 5-foot variance on my side yard, and I really needed a 6-foot variance. That's a new application. So the answer is they're aware of that. But
so then my follow-up, why not get it right, get it all at once now, instead of having to come back for that specific variance?
Well, I'm not sure that we need a variance for the driveway, because I'd like to work this out with Sean. Think about this for a second. If your driveway today to your house were a 15% driveway, and you weren't doing anything else other than fixing your driveway, I'm not sure you'd go for a variance by to make your driveway 12%.
No.
15%. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure we need it, but I'll find out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and again, if
we do that all the time.
yeah, if I may, I know that when preparing site plans, in general, if there's an existing nonconformity with respect to on a commercial site plan, if there's an existing nonconformity with parking or driveway or what have you, the zoning or planning and zoning department often, if not always, allows one to make use of the existing nonconformities, and if you make things a little bit better or a little bit more conforming, even though they're still non-conforming, they are approved by the planning and zoning department. So again, what we're proposing here is to make the driveway better, to follow the rules and regulations of the city. For if this were a new driveway, then yes, absolutely, we would need to seek variances, because the way that the grades are and the way that the regulations are written, to follow the regulations for a driveway, this first 10 feet or so, or maybe 15 feet from the edge of the road, would need to be no greater than 3%. So and the current slope is about 23%. So it would be almost a non-starter if we were to seek a new driveway from the get-go. So again, to follow the regulations, it needs to be 3% of the property line, then no greater than 8% for the first 30 feet. And once you get to 8%, then you can go up to 12%. But in this scenario, all we can do is make it better.
And it's the way it's been explained is the way we've always dealt with it. I mean, in the worst case, you'd say to the property owner, well, you got to keep your old driveway at 26%, which, and lower your garage down to a different level. That never happens. But I think if it turns out that Sean feels that we do need a variance, we'll come back and seek it.
But how are you going to come back once you build the garage? How are you going to change the driveway now?
No. I'm saying, Joe, if it turns out that we can't get a zoning permit for the driveway as shown now without another variance, then the garage itself will be in the same location, but it's going to be deeper into we're going to have to excavate for a garage that's down further because the driveway is going to be that much deeper. But we'll have to do that. I don't think it'll happen, but we could do the plan off of the existing driveway. It's just, it's allowed.
You're saying you can improve the pitch on the driveway. Why don't you improve it and make it on a plan? What you improving it for? 12%, 13%, 14%? Let's see it in a plan, and then we can vote on it. Maybe the board will give you the variance based on that way. That's as per plan submitted.
It's a reasonable request. Dinus, can we show the grades?
If we approve this for you now, and you say an existing 23, and you build the garage floor, so you have to get from the street to the garage floor, you can't go change the garage no more after. We have to pass the driveway. You can't stop you from going to the garage. So,
I think that's what I was trying to convey. What Chairman Hanna was saying is, why take the risk of building this, grading all of this, excavating all of this, and then you determine that it's not the 16%. And I understand your side of things where you're making something less conforming, but I would add that you're now widening the driveway, so that could be within itself a nonconformity to the nonconformity. And I'm not saying that this is the case. So I think that's what I was just trying to convey, what Mr. Hanna was saying.
I think that's the best thing, Mr. Marcus. See what you can do with the driveway and tell us exactly what it's 13%, 14, 15, and that's the best you can do. Will work. We'll see what we can.
So could that be a condition with this approval that the driveway not to exceed?
No, we don't want to put condition on you because I don't know what you can do or not, because this is up to the engineer what they can advise you on and make a plan. We can't tell you what to do. We can look at your plan and decide. There is a 5 members board here, and everyone have a different thinking, different ideas. So, but I like to see you saying you're going to improve the driveway, and that's fine. That's good. But let's see it in the paper. What can you do? You can do the 12%. You can do the 13, the 14. It will work with you.
Dinus, I guess the question that Joe is raising is, can we do a drawing, maybe showing the existing grade of the driveway as it is today, and then showing the actual grades on this plan? Is that
absolutely. And should we do that as an add to this existing application, just to show it. Again, we've conceptually worked it out, but we thought, well, let's first see if we're gonna if the zoning board of appeals would consider our application before going forward and working out final details and so on.
Right, and if I could interject, I think we're in a situation here where we can control the pitch of the driveway by the height of the retaining wall, which hasn't been
Right.
built yet. So if they can come to us with the pitch we require by the height of the retaining wall, we can go from there.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and again, it'll be a balance between where the existing ledge is also. So how much we can cut, how tall, and so on. It depends on at what point we hit the ledge. We
Well, you can
prefer
break the
not
ledge.
to-
You just have to spend some money. That's it. Everything is
So
you
I
can't,
think the board should come to
people-
an agreement on what pitch is acceptable for this driveway and see if the engineers can make that work.
Listen, these all tough lots over there, and we try to work with you, and we'll work on the past. But let's get something in writing, clear to everyone, and we'll go from there. Because I know that you can't change the land, can't change the topography, but you can help. You can spend some more money and make the driveway. It's better for the homeowner. It's safer and better in the wintertime, and it's better for us because we voting on something we see in front of us.
So is it the commission's suggestion that the hearing tonight be continued to your next meeting in order to provide you with the drawings that you've requested? That makes sense at this point?
Makes sense to send us no drawing, you mean? Is that what you're saying?
No, are you asking that we submit the drawing showing the driveway grades prior to making a decision on the application?
No, we can make a decision now. If you said in the presentation, you're gonna make the driveway better pitch.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you have good engineers over there, and they can tell you what's the best you can do over there. And I know if you raise the wall, the one toward the house up a little bit, 1 foot or 2, that might help you the pitch for the driveway along the way. How much? I don't know. I'm not an engineer, but I know something, little bit of that nature.
Right.
And, if this way, you have a lot of, setback and variances to do. In a driveway, if you do that in the beginning, it's much better. As per plan submitted, no headache later. You don't have to come back to us. You don't have to have a problem with other city situation, and it will be clear for everyone. What the board will approve for you, I don't know. I work myself. I can understand the whole situation, but I need improvement on the driveway to see what you said before. You're going to improve it. So let's see the improvement in writing on the plan, and
Sean, are you saying that they should add that as a variance?
We've been back and forth with the detail on this variance is quite significant. And we've been back and forth with Dinus's and Neil's office. And if Dinus can give you a proposal that he's saying that the decrease, or he's decreasing the nonconformity to a point that the ZBA says it does not require a variance to the new percentage of the new grade. Here's my thoughts on this. If a driveway comes in and it was 17 and they're going to lower it to 16, I don't bother you guys because that driveway is being improved. However, if you change the characteristics of the driveway to such an extent and you add a detached accessory use to it, you're kind of changing the game on it. So That I'd prefer the board looks at that, and whether we decide that you're gonna have to go back and re-advertise again, or you're gonna have to say the board's willing to say that improvement on a nonconformity is acceptable to the board. I think I could live with that, as long as the board is open, notorious, and I think Neil was edging towards that. I think, Tony, that may be something we can stop from keeping having to re-advertise again.
I appreciate that, Sean, because I agree with your thought 100%.
Thank
Is that the second?
thank you so much for chiming in. Yeah.
So I think if you guys came back with the detail, like Chairman Hanna was asking for and Juan, if we can give you a detail and then you can explain it, Dinas, as the engineer, how this
Sure.
is, and then the ZBA ultimately would have made the decision regardless. To me, it's just word script. And if the board is comfortable enough saying that the nonconformity has been decreased to an extent that it's acceptable to us, we may be able to avoid, because it's already at 23. Maybe the
Yeah.
board says that's
getting
all I'm
better.
proposing. That's all I'm proposing.
That makes sense. Your proposal makes sense.
Okay. So what do we do from now? You're gonna retable it or you're gonna resubmit the application or what?
Mr. Chair, I would prefer if you would table this so the engineer and the council can come back and address those specific concerns.
Yeah, our request is that you continue it to your next meeting, and we'll provide you with the drawings.
Okay, next. Very good.
And I would like to ask a few more questions, and I don't know if this will, affect the continuance. So I wanted to ask, on the proposed addition, I know that Mr. Verbickas mentioned the nonconformities regulations. I understand it's just 2 feet, further from the setback on the southerly setback. Is there a reason why we can't put this addition and deck on the northerly side of the setback and eliminate that variance need and be within the setbacks?
So I'm again, apologies, my connection is horrible. But the way that the home is currently situated and the way that the room layouts would work, to push the addition, as I suspect you're suggesting, to push the addition to the north would then put really peculiar jogs into the house in the back and make the proposed space here kind of wonky, I guess, for lack of a better term. And it would make for challenging roof lines and so on to push this. And again, because we're moving further away from the side yard, we're again not increasing the nonconformity. And the fact that we do have positive letters from our neighbors, both who would be most impacted, if there were any impact at all, having their full support, I think should allay some worries.
And I mean, I understand what you're saying, but keeping it the way that you have it proposed, wouldn't it just be as wonky to have it this way? I'm as a ZBA, we try to minimize the least amount of variances granted, due to the fact that you're coming to us to propose that we bend the rules to give you these variances, these breaks on the variances. With the detached accessory and the cutting into the front yard setback, that's a big ask there within itself. I'm thinking through the letter of the zoning regulations, why not just bring that up to the northerly setback, be within the regulations, and eliminate that variance request, and then just focus on that, on the other variances in regards to the detached accessory and the front yard setback.
Okay, well,
I walked the property, and you know, and I get it. You're arguing that you're 2 feet further away from where the corner of this southerly corner of the house is now, but why not just eliminate the whole variance, moving it to the northerly setback?
yeah, well, we can discuss that with the property owners and as we return back with additional supporting information, we'll have an answer. But thank you for that suggestion. Appreciate it for sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other question from the board, or we're gonna go for tabling? All right, we
Through the
agree
chair,
to read. Huh?
I think maybe Mrs. Nadler wanted to say something. She has a hand raised.
One quick comment on the question about moving the addition further to the north. On the north end of that is some more rock ledge. So that would also require some blasting, presumably. I'm not an engineer, I don't know. But also adding to the confusion here would be the rock ledge also forms part of the foundation. So blasting rock ledge, it would be, I imagine, a tricky business. But that was it. Thank you.
Well, if you have a problem with the ledge over there, you can make the addition 2 feet less, and you have 15 feet sideways setback. So everything
gonna
is a
take into
problem. They get
consideration-
ledge in the front, ledge in the back, ledge in the side. So anyway, Mr. Rivas, any more question, or you?
No, I'm good for now, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna go ahead, retable it for the next meeting. Is that you okay with that, Mr. Marcus?
Yes, if you'll just, continue it to the next meeting, and we'll be with the clients, and I'll meet with Dynas. We'll try to address those questions, but I appreciate that there's a limited scope of information that you need at this point, and we'll get it for you. Appreciate
Well, I think that's much better idea for us, and
Yep.
for you, and for the homeowner, that everything will be approved in writing, whatever, as their plan submitted in the long term. I wanna try to, we do the best we can for it, you know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
Anyway, so. we
Mr.
need a
Chairman,
motion. We're gonna-
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to continue application 25-04, 52 Carroll Street, until April 10th, 2025 meeting.
Motion made by Mr. Rivas,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Trata. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we'll see you next meeting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, we gotta make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, I know.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Rivas, seconded by Mr. Trata. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.